What's going on, world? And welcome to Clearing the Wreckage Podcast. It's the voice and your host, Kareem A. Rashid. And once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be getting on the toilet, or you could be getting off the toilet. Hell, for all I know, you could be wiping your tushy. But I know that I'm ready, and so I hope that you're ready to clear the wreckage. Yes, indeed. What's going on, my friends? What's up with you today, my peeps, my fellow Wreckage Clearers? Let's go ahead and get into it. We are meeting today. Again, as always, I'm ecstatic, I'm joyful, I'm excited to be here with you. If you guys don't know this, I just want to share this little tidbit of information. I have a whole routine before I come and meet with you. I have a whole routine, and there's a routine has to take place. I would rather call it a ritual rather than a routine, because you cannot spell the word spiritual without ritual inside of it. Let me just give you that little bit of wisdom real quick. All right, so ritual is tied to spiritual because you cannot spell the word spiritual without ritual. And rituals keep you aligned with the spirit, or bring you into alignment with the spirit. And some of the things that I do is, well, sometimes I will meditate before I come see you. Sometimes I will have to go to the gym and walk on the treadmill and maybe lift some weights. But in that time, I am being present. I am being mindful. I am having my awareness heightened. And not only, I'm not even thinking about this podcast episode. I'm thinking about, hey, I am in there to become aligned with the spirit. I'm taking time with myself, me, and God, and we are going to walk on the treadmill, and I am going to stay present in that moment. And when I am doing all of that, by the time I get back to my place, I begin to sit down and meditate a little bit more, think a little bit, kind of free my mind a little bit, so to speak. And then all of this stuff starts downloading to me. Here's what you're going to talk about when you meet with your fellow Wreckage Clearers today. And so I just wanted to share that with you, because sometimes, I don't know, maybe you should know something else about me, because I know you know a whole lot about me, because I'm giving you all of myself in this conversation in Clearing the Wreckage Podcast. Yes, because this is about us being one and walking along the journey together. You already know that. I don't have to emphasize that even more, but all the time I'm with you, I try to emphasize that so you can know that I am walking hand in hand with you. I am not some guru. I am not some person that has arrived, that has graduated from life. I am still doing life right here, and we are doing life together, you and I. So with that being said, have some compassion, will you? That's going to be the conversation today that we're going to have. After the spiritual awakening that I had, I began to come to life. Awakening means coming to life, coming back to life, awakening. Awaken, you awaken almost every single morning. Some people do not awaken, unfortunately. Right? Or fortunately, we don't know. I mean, hey, if it is their time, it is their time, right? Who am I to sit here and play God and be like, well, you know what? They weren't supposed to. I don't know anything. Maybe it was better for them not to awaken and drift off and be in spirit. Maybe it was better for them. Maybe they were going through a lot of pain and suffering. Who really knows? But because of that spiritual awakening, now I can think that way even in death. Because I know that now death is part of life. They coincide with one another. You cannot have death without life, and you can't have life without death. You have to have both of these, as we talked about and discussed in the previous episode. If you just look at nature, you can see that both life and death coincide with one another, and you have to die in order to live. Yes, so I begin to see life all around me. I begin to see life within myself. I was no longer dead. I was no longer a zombie, as I stated in the previous conversation. And life was no longer about me. Y'all, it was not about me anymore. It was not about my personal gain, my personal benefit. What can Kareem receive from you? It wasn't about that anymore. And let me just share this with you too. It all changed for me. It was such a transformation that it wasn't even about me going to work to collect a paycheck to survive. My whole outlook, my whole perspective changed. I realized that I had a gift to work. It was a privilege and an honor to work. Yes, I began to see it in that state. I begin to see it from that mindset. Once you awaken, once you come to life, you begin to see life all around you. And that's what I mean when I say that. You begin to see life all around you. I was no longer dead. I wasn't just, gotta go to work today. And, I can't wait till I get paid. Oh, I'm so tired of this place. Oh, I'm so tired of these people. That's death, my friends. That is death. So if you are going to work and you are experiencing that, you are experiencing death. You are bringing death upon you, upon your spirit, and you are experiencing death, and then everyone around you is experiencing the death that you're experiencing. Whoo, boy, don't let me start preaching up in here. Because what happens? We all know this, right? We all know this. What happens? You go to work, you're dragging yourself in there, you're filled with death, and everybody is impacted and affected by the death that you are bringing in there, and everybody else around you starts to die. And they don't want to die, but their spirit just starts to crumble a little bit. Because they're like, oh man, they start feeling how you're feeling. That's what energy does. That's what we do with one another. And that is why I came to life and I realized, man, I'm connected to these people. It is time for me to go and give life. I am not going to be going into my workplace giving death. Matter of fact, I am excited to be alive. I'm excited to have been awakened and be able to go to work. I'm grateful for that. What an honor, what a privilege to be able to serve and give back to the community that comes in there to that workplace with a smile on my face and be happy. It is no longer about me receiving a paycheck. It is no longer about me just trying to muster and get through the day. It's no longer about that. It is about what can I bring to this environment. I'm no longer bringing death, so I must bring life. Yes, because I have awakened to life. Folks, this is what the spiritual awakening is about. This is what I mean when I had come to life. I began to bring forth life. A spiritual awakening also fosters this compassion by dissolving the ego sense of separation, right? Like that whole sense of me saying that, oh man, I don't fit in, I feel unloved, I feel unaccepted, all of that, right? So it fosters compassion by dissolving the ego sense of separation and revealing an underlying oneness with everyone and everything, right? So I begin to see my connection to and with other humans. So when I was going to work, I knew, man, I am connected. Like everything, all the energy that I bring in there is connected to these people. May I bring life to them today. Before I walk out that door, I need to do everything in my power that I need to do to bring life into that environment. And you know what that entails? That entails prayer, that entails meditation. We've talked about this. Everything that I talk about with you is leading up to this conversation. So stay with me. Stay with me. But all my life, y'all, and you know the story, you know it. I've shared it with you. I felt separate. I felt unloved. I felt unaccepted. I felt neglected, rejected, like I did not fit in. Now I begin to see that I belong, and so does everything and everyone else. In this great, big, giant world, everything belongs here. There is nothing that is not here that does not belong. There is no human that is on this earth that does not belong to be here. They were sent here for a reason. A quote from one of my favorite authors, Richard Rohr, from the book Everything Belongs. He says in there, he quotes, when we see that the world is enchanted, we begin to see the revelation of God in each individual as individual, end quote. Folks, this is where control leaves us and we begin to accept ourselves, which then leads to the acceptance of others. And the acceptance of others being an individual, their own individual, but that individual being God inside of them. You can only see that when you awaken, when you have a spiritual awakening, because you come to life and you begin to see life, and God is life. And also with that, I begin to see that there is this, somehow, some way, there's this interconnectedness going on all around me. Everything somehow, some way is connected in some shape, form, or fashion. It's all connected. Remember how we talked about the caterpillar becoming a butterfly, then him becoming a butterfly, he or she becoming a butterfly, right? And then flying to, the plant to drink some nectar so that the plants can reproduce and the pollen and everything can pollinate. That's a connectedness between the caterpillar, the butterfly, and all the plants. There's a connectedness between the bee and the honey and the pollen. And that's just one. Those are just two little examples. But see, what we have going on here as humans, when we're walking around dead, we think that we're separate from everything. And no, I'm not connected to you because you look funny. No, I'm not connected to you because you talk funny. No, I'm not connected to you because you're from the South. No, I'm not connected to you because you're from the North. No, I'm not connected to you because you're from overseas. No, I'm not connected to you because you talk with an accent. No, I'm not connected with you because you do this and I don't do that. No, I'm not connected to you because you like this and I don't like that. We have all this separation. No, I'm not connected to you because you're lower class and I'm upper class. No, I'm not connected to you because you're lower income and I'm high income. Nope, I'm a billionaire and you're poor. I'm not connected to you at all. We begin to have these, classifications, the status. Society has taught us these things. Society has found a way to keep you and I divided, to separate what has already been one since the beginning of time. Nothing is separate at all. So with that being said, I begin to feel again. I begin to not only feel what was going on inside of me, but I begin to feel the suffering of others deeply. And there was this desire that was prompted in me to alleviate that. Now, I don't know if you even recall this conversation that we had a long time ago, but remember when I was homeless and I was living in the woods? So remember, before all of that, I think I shared it with you. In fact, I know I've shared it with you. I used to have in my mind Whenever I saw a person on the street corner, I used to have in my mind, that is disgusting. You are a bum. I will never be that way. You will never see me on the street corner begging for food. That will never happen to me. Why don't you get a job? It's not that hard to make it. What the heck are you doing out here on the street? Don't come to my car asking me for money. Nope, I can't help you. I had all of this in my mind until I became homeless. Do you see the connection now? Now maybe with me sharing that with you, you somehow see the connection. I hope you do, because when you walk around here dead, because I was, you walk around here speaking death because I was dead, so that's what I was doing. I saw nothing but death. I saw nothing but ill around me. Right? That will come right back to you. And it has nothing to do with karma. I know people believe in karma. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just think that if you are dead, you are going to stay dead. What you give out is going to come back to you. And that is what I received, folks, death, because I was walking dead. And I was placing death judgment upon everybody. I was condemning them. In other words, so to speak. Folks, it is not my job to condemn or judge anyone on this earth, because what happens is, if you see the connection with that, where I'm going with this, don't let me start preaching to you, I was judging my own self. That is really what I was doing. And then I brought the judgment right upon me. Oh, you want to talk about all these people? Wait till you see what it's really like. Boom. And I was homeless. Folks, we got to be really careful. We got to be really careful about the things that we say. We got to be really careful. If we want to, we got to be careful not to continue to walk in death. It's time to come to life. It's time to have that spiritual awakening. It's time to clear the wreckage. We must take the time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. That's the first step. That is why I emphasize that every single episode and conversation with you. So that desire was prompted in me to alleviate it now. So now when I saw a homeless person on the street corner, I wanted to help. I wanted to alleviate that pain, that suffering that they were going through, because I knew it firsthand. I knew it. I could feel the suffering. So what happened inside of me was, how can I serve? How can I help? And I'm not just talking about to the person on the street corner. This was with everyone. Every being that I saw suffering inside of. How can I serve? How can I help? How can I love? Can I pray for you? I'll give you an example. And folks, this is not to toot my horn or anything like that. This is not to bring any praise upon me. This is to bring praise upon the only one, the main one, the creator, the source, that one being God. That is who I am praising and giving the credit to. When this transformation happened, when I was spiritually awakened, when I came to life, I have plenty of stories. I'm just going to give you one. There was a young lady who came into my restaurant. Now, remember, when I had this awakening, my whole attitude changed. You can just say that I became a different person. Let's just say that. Transformation took place. I was reborn. The death of me was gone. I came to life. And so when I went to work, I had a different attitude. I had a different perspective. I was about giving life to myself and to other people. And with that being said, this young lady came into my workplace, and I could feel her pain without even saying anything to her. I could feel it. I was able to feel what she was going through. We had a conversation, and this young lady had breast cancer. And with that being said, we had a conversation. I took the time out of my shift to have a conversation with her. And I asked her, how is she doing? How can I help? What can I do? Can I pray for you? And actually at that moment, outside of the restaurant, we walked outside and we prayed together. Folks, this is what a spiritual awakening does. This is what it means to come to life. This is what it means to have some compassion, will you? Because there are people out there that are suffering. There's another friend of mine, and again, this is not about me. This is not about me at all. It's another friend of mine who came into the place that I work, and I began to see the suffering inside of her. This person was struggling deeply with the fact that they had to get their leg removed. This person struggles with spina bifida, and they had to get their leg removed. Had to go through that whole process. Now, me and this person are good friends, but I talked to her. I made sure she was okay. We had a conversation with one another. I checked on her when she came in. We discussed things with one another. We were connected, my friends. That is where I'm going with that. So what about you? Are you just so much in your head? Are you just so dead that when you're at work, you don't see anything? You don't see any suffering? You're just so dead that when you go out into the world, into public, let's just say you're going to school, you're going to class here and there, and you're just mean mugging everybody. You're like, please get out of my way. I don't have time for you. Are you that type of person? Do you do little things like hold the door open for somebody? If you're a male, it doesn't have to be a woman that you're holding the door open for. You can hold the door open for a gentleman. Just hold the door open. Are you trying to give life? How can I serve? How can I help? How can I love? So no longer was I in judgmental reactions. I began to walk in empathy. It would have been easy, so easy. And I'm sure it's plenty of us that are doing it because I did it. Remember, I just told you the story how when I saw people on a street corner, that's what I did. I judged them. I condemned them. When I saw somebody that was different from me, that's what I did. I judged them. I condemned them because they were different. And we all do it. So it could have been easy, folks, easy for me to just go to work, go about my shift, get home, and not worry about any of those people that came into my workplace, the examples that I gave. It would have been easy. It would have also been easy for me to see these people and condemn them. Easy. But because it's so easy, that's why most of us do it, because it's easy. We don't know how to take the time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. We have not awakened yet. It's easy just to walk in death. It's easy to just go through the motions and not have any type of heart, any type of love. Love takes action. So, folks, I no longer had those judgmental reactions that I used to have as soon as I saw someone that was different than me. I began to walk in this empathy, this kindness, and most of all, a very unconditional love at that. Not just love, but unconditional love, knowing that, man, this person is suffering. This person needs something. What is it that I can give to them? And a lot of times, it was things that I probably couldn't give, but at the same time, it was like, you know what? I have life in me. I can pray. I can pray. If I can't, there may not be something that I can say to this person in this situation. But I could go home and I can pray. And I can talk to God about it because I have a relationship with my higher power. I can ask, hey, what's going on with this person? What is it that I need to say to you? How can you help them? Anyway, this was the point in my life where my heart was softened. Let's just say maybe I was given a new one. Maybe the old one was replaced. Maybe the old one was replaced because I did die. My ego is what died, folks. And then I became spiritually alive or awakened. I began to realize that the word other just may be an illusion or some sense of facade. There's no such thing as other people. We're all one. We're all a mirror. We're all just mere reflections. But that happens only when you come to life. You begin to have that type of perspective and outlook because you only see life in other individuals. Because now I knew that I belonged, and so did they. Maybe we belong together. Common sense would only tell me this. Maybe it'll tell you this, I don't know. But common sense isn't as common, right? But common sense would tell me this. Well, Kareem, if you were not sent here to be connected with others and in oneness, then God, the mighty creator, would not have just sent you here, God would have just sent you here to explore Earth on your own by yourself. If you were not sent here to be connected with others and in oneness, then God would have just sent you here to explore Earth on your own by yourself, and no other human would have been sent here. Just you. Woo! If it was all about you, then it will just be you here. Kareem, that makes sense. Common sense would tell me that if it was all about me, does common sense tell you that? Hey, look, if it's all about you, my friends, if it's all about you, then why is there billions of people around you? Just why? You just think they're just here just to be here? Oh, they're just here for show. Just here to populate the world. I don't know why they're here. And I'm sure sometimes you probably think that way. You probably get mad at people. You know, somebody cuts you off in traffic, and you're probably so upset that you begin to curse them, and you're like, why the hell are you here? You're just taking up space. Or somebody isn't moving the way you want them to move in life, not going the direction you want them to go. And you're just like, why the hell are you here? You're just taking up space. You have thought this way because I've thought this way. I know that I'm not alone in that because we are connected, my friends. Enough said. With that transformation, my ego began to subside. And that's what we need to happen. That is part of the wreckage. That ego right there, and I'm not saying that all of the ego is bad, but the part that is about fear and judgment and protection is it needed to go away. It needed to subside, and it did. And it was replaced with a heart-centered awareness that produced a deeper compassion and a deeper empathy for others and for myself. Because once I awakened, my friends, the self-hatred that I had for myself that lingered within me was easily lifted. The self-hatred and even the hatred I began to have, or the judgment, I should say, for other people was easily lifted. The healing process begun, which naturally overflowed into compassion for the flaws and the struggles of others. Instead of looking at these people as peasants, that's how I used to look at people. Like, man, you shouldn't be here. You're just wasting space. Instead of looking at them in that sense, I began to see the flaws inside of them. I began to see the struggles that they might be having at that time, and I began to see life. Life is in them and it can come out and be produced and it can shine to the rest of this world. How can I help? How can I serve? How can I love? So I shifted from fear to love. Instead of a fight or flight response like we normally do as humans, I moved toward a tend and befriend approach. How can I tend to? How can I love? When I saw that young lady come into the workplace and I saw her rolling in on her wheelchair and her having an issue, just her being in a wheelchair in general gave me a sense of compassion. Now, to some, they might be like, oh, you're feeling sorry. No, I was not feeling sorry for her. I felt her struggle. I put myself in that person's shoes. When I saw her, dang, what if that was me in a wheelchair? And I began to feel maybe what it is that she's going through, maybe just a little bit. Now, I'm not here saying that, oh my gosh, I can completely identify and relate to this person that was in the wheelchair. I can't, because I've never been in a wheelchair, but I can connect with them and have compassion for the struggle. So it became more of a tend to approach and a befriend approach. Tend to. How can I love? I am life now. How can I bring life upon this situation? And that was to anybody that came into my workplace, and that was everywhere that I went. This transformation took place. So everywhere I went now, I was to bring life to the situation. Because I was life. I was living now. I have been awakened. So once you awaken, that is what it is for you to do. Now that is part of your job. That is part of your mission. So are you asking yourself, how can I love? How can I serve? These are questions to ask yourself for yourself. How can I bring kindness to this world? How can I bring kindness to my workplace today? How can I bring kindness to the doctor's office today? I have an appointment. How can I bring kindness in there? How can I be love? In what ways am I being rude to myself or unkind? I begin to ask myself those questions. And folks, as you know, this process began, you know the whole story. As you know, this process began with me being kind to myself by me going into those rooms, that support group that my therapist suggested, and giving it up and giving it a shot. Giving up my old ways and say, hey, I'll just give it a shot. And being honest, you know all of this. We talked about how to clear the wreckage. That was part of me being kind and compassionate to myself. That is where it started. So taking that step toward healing, I was able to take that step toward healing. Because I was not so kind to myself before all of that. You know that. I mistreated myself daily. I mistreated my whole body. I confused my mind with mind-altering chemicals and substances. I did not care about myself. And if you're doing that, let me just say to you right now, with the compassionate heart, I'm not saying this to judge you. You are confusing your mind with mind-altering substances if you are using any type of drug. And alcohol also is a drug. And so I did not care about myself, and I definitely did not care about no one else. And I was a great pretender, though. The facade and the illusion I believed was that I loved me. I care for me. No, clearly I did not. Now it was time to clear the wreckage. So the process began. I began the process. I did not know, well, besides therapy, I did not know that I would be learning so much about myself and unlearning and dying to become alive again. To become my true self, I would say, to become one who is compassion, who is empathy, who is love, who is kind. And all of that was buried underneath the layers. So through that process, I begin to uncover it so that I can truly be the person I was made to be. Taking the time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear is about you taking the time to uncover these layers of protection that have been there for years and years and years that you probably don't even know about. It is just natural for you to walk around in a certain state of being. Natural for you to just walk around angry because you're in fear. Natural for you to have a resentment because you're in fear. Natural for you to have an outburst because you are in fear, because your ego is driving and leading the way. But you may not know nothing about that until you look inside. That's why I come on here every single week and I share with you the things that I did to begin to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. I hope and I pray that you will do the same. When you listen to me, that you are taking what I am saying and you are trying to put at least a little bit of it into practice. Remember, I am not the guru of all of this. I am simply just sharing with you my experience. And in hopes from that experience, you can take a little bit out of it and leave the rest. Whatever it is that you feel that you get from this, take it. If you don't get, there may be something else you may not get, leave it. Take what you need and leave the rest at the door. In other words, is what I'm saying. But that's what I'm here to do. I'm here, again, I've shared with you to bring life. Folks, this is my life. Folks, this is my experience that I'm sharing with you. This is my life now. I am life. I am truth. I am compassion. I am empathy. I am love. I am kind. This is who I am. I am patient. I am those things. So I bring this to you, to the forefront today to share it with you. It's not just about, I know I shared, my purpose. My purpose is to be who I was created to be. My purpose is to be who I was created to be. I was sent here for a purpose to be purpose. And that is compassion, empathy, love, kindness, humility, peace, joy. Life. So with that, I want to leave you with this. And this is a poem that I wrote a long time ago. And it was when I was having that spiritual awakening. I wrote a poem because I was experiencing this. And man, it started to hurt my heart. It started to hurt my heart so much when I saw other people that still were, and it still does to this day. It still does. When I see another person that is struggling with any type of addiction, it still brings a sense of compassion. What and how can I love? How can I serve? I just want to help. And truthfully, if I can give everybody in the world this gift that I was given, I would give it. With that being said, I'm going to just read this poem to you real quick. And it's called Compassion. I still cry when I see you, stuck, out of hope, out of luck, in your addiction. Did I mention this is killing me? To see this disease killing you, I'm feeling you, all of your pain, the hurt, your lack of worth. I can hear the voices as they flirt with you, drawing you further into temptation, telling you it's okay to think this way about yourself. Because you are a failure. You will never be anything but a sad existence for a human being. You will always be this way. They say, oh, they say, no one could ever love you. How could they? Look at you. You're worthless. So yeah, go ahead and take that drink. Inhale, exhale, whatever makes you hurt less. Numb it all. Run from it all. I know. And I feel you. See, it kills you as it kills me on the inside. The problem is I cannot hide from me. Neither can you put a shield over your eyes to blind yourself from you. The agony, emotions outpouring from tragedies, catastrophes that happen to you, I understand. The plan was not for you to become a victim. I get it. You want to blame the system, your sister or brother, your lover. Everyone is out to get you. So not true. See, your feelings get the best of you, embedded in you, resentment, fear, pain. You feel stained, like you'll never become clean. Truth is, you can be washed free of your dirt, hurt from the past, but the present is present and presented as a gift, wrapped up and ready to be opened, hoping you will see it, grab it, and unravel it. Then let it go. Control is what has you miserable. Trying to manage your life and everyone else's pitiful. For you to rest in others, rest in God and take cover under God's shelter, because only God can help you. You are a spiritual being trapped in an earthly body. The physical is death. The spirit is life. Live by letting go of the steering wheel. Then these feelings will subside. Eventually, mentally, your health is at stake and is at risk. Mind yourself. Become mindful of self and aware of your actions. Stop passing criticism and critical attachments. No one is perfect, and that includes you. Happiness is fleeting. It comes and goes. No one owes you a piece of mind. Traumatized from those pieces of time, just mere moments to you. Those components are huge, and I become your opponent, and I lose, but I let you win, because when I was engulfed in my addiction, it was all about winning, overcompensating for feeling lost and forsaken, when really I just needed a hug, some embracing. Tell me you love me. One of my favorite songs by Demi Lovato, feeling hollow and empty, so I chased the bottle and swallowed some Remy while Martin Luther King Jr.'s voice was ringing. People aren't the enemy. Dreaming for love and compassion, passionate for a change. I was strung out on a corner homeless, asking for change, literally. I understand you mentally, we connect. Yes, I get the stress, and that's why I cry for you. I weep, and unfortunately, we reap what we sow. And I planted a lot of damage. Infertile, unmanaged seeds, a horrible farmer. Then the more it hit harder, this life like a boulder tearing a building, crumbling to ashes. So I weep and I cry for you, because I feel the lashes, the same ones you feel. So I'm asking for you to heal, and may God reveal to you what you need. a relationship with your Creator so He can take you and peel back the layers that are concealed underneath the trash heap where you buried your past deep and bring it to the surface. Then recovery starts, and it hurts, but it works if you work it, and it does get better. Hold on, pain ends hope. Strength and experience, your purpose is given to help another person, but I weep for you. Because right now, for you to live, it's not worth it. It's easier to give up feeling stuck. So why not call it quits? You figure, man, your whole life you failed, so what makes you think you'll accomplish this? And that's why I cry and I weep for you. Because you minimize the strength of your higher power who could take you higher than that toke or hit. Don't you know that life is a gift? There is no tag on you. You are priceless. So I write this thinking of you. And you might not like this or even want to listen, but I promise that you are only inches away from real freedom. And you'll taste and see this, that the Lord is good and your shepherd. Let go and let God lead you. That's Compassion, my friend. That's the name of the poem, Compassion. And as you can see, I still have a heart of compassion inside of me. I read that to you, and I still, man, I feel it. You know, I feel it. I feel not just the pain of addiction that people go through, but just the pain in life that you are going through because you're holding on to resentments or you're holding on to this anger or you feel like you're worthless. I know the pain. I felt it all. I felt it. And that's why I am here, folks. Because we are one to let you know and so that you can know. Rest assured and be assured and be confident that there is someone that is like you. There is someone that is connected to you. There is an individual that has been through things that you have been through. And that's what it's all about. Us connecting, becoming one with one another, because that is what we are. The rest of the things that you believe are illusions. It's only there to protect yourself from danger, so to speak. I love you so much. I'm so thankful that you're here with me today. I hope to see you next time we get together. I do not know what we're going to talk about, but I'll figure it out. And as I always leave you, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear.